Good morning, all you beautiful souls. I just want to talk to you today about the essence now and the very importance of being aware of what comes out of your mouth, literally, and also what thoughts you think. You know, I'm always reminded that some people are like Eeyore, Eeyore in that beautiful children's book about Winnie and the Pooh. Now, every time that you see Eeyore, his face is hanging here at the bottom, the lip is down there, and he's always forever losing his tail. Now, a lot of people, the minute that you ask them how they are, then all the worries and the woes and everything that you can think of, is coming out of their mouth. I don't say that one hasn't got times when this happens. But the thing is, if you only sort of talk to yourself and whatever comes out of your mouth is only that negative part of life, that is what you draw more into. And at this stage, when we go into this higher ascension process, this is vital. Because if you're only moaning about the state of the world and moaning about whatever is going on in your life, and even though it's not moaning, it's where you want to share what is going on in your life, but if this is only about focusing on that which is there already, like dis-ease in your body, that is exactly what you will draw more of. It is not just positive thinking that I'm talking about here. It becomes a way of life and living. If you would get up every morning and actually affirm that you are vitally healthy and that every single cell in your body is vitally healthy, and also that there's so much goodness in life coming your way, and you also affirm this in your prayers, as if it's already there, then you are going to reprogram your whole subconscious mind, because then you are, in saying things aloud, you are reprogramming yourself. And if you truly make it your intent that this you will serve with love and joy, and you will affirm that throughout the day, even if your batteries get flat, then you will start being that. You will start acting that out in your daily life. It's very simple. It is also very simple to actually go out and sit down and say to yourself, okay, if I want more money in my life, how will that benefit not only me, but everybody else? Because this life is not about you. If you just want to give service in order to make money, then where's the love? If you do not love what you do and love what you are there, then you won't have that energy that actually attracts other people. It's your own energy. It's that energy that you put out in all your work and the authenticity. If you're not willing to actually walk your talk, the new earth is not going to support you in that. If you live your talk and you are authentic and truthful, and you do what you love and you love what you do, you're going to draw into your life those souls that you can be of service to. And then the thing is also, if you're going to self-sabotage yourself with your own thinking and your own negative things about you, what you say about money and people that have money and people that charge for services, then you're going to reject it in your own life. I had to go through that all programming in my life because I believed that charging for services was not spiritual. Well, you know that the churches are of the richest on the world. You look at the Roman Catholic Church, they've got more gold reserves than anybody else on this earth. The fact is, they survive on people's donations. And then, all churches have membership fees, whether you look at it or not, or they have donations that they survive on. And that goes for all religious institutions. They won't survive if they don't have money somewhere along the line. If you actually would just change your thinking for 1 minute and actually start to see that money in itself has got no charge. It hasn't got a negative charge. It hasn't got a positive charge. It's just energy. It's what you project on it that you will draw more of in your life. But it's not just that. If you want to render service, or if you want to also see that you really now change your whole concept about your life and what you are attracting into your life, go and sit down and make a list, 2 lists. The one is the drawbacks of you having money, and the other one is the benefits of it, okay? Because this is very vital for abundance, because the new earth is all about abundance consciousness. But if you are self-sabotaging yourself at some level, then you're not going to attract that. It's the inner work that always needs to be done. So then go and make a list. And what is the drawbacks about having money? Or whatever you want to attract in your life. And then go and write the benefits down. But write it down that you at least have 100 benefits that are more than the drawbacks. Because if you still have got more drawbacks than benefits, you're not going to attract anything in your life that you want. Why? Because the minute that you see, because now you've got to not only think how having money will be a benefit to you, but also having money, how is that going to benefit others? You see, if you can think of your whatever you want to bring into the world, and you think, okay, if I have like my business grows or whatever I want to bring out grows, then more people will benefit because I'm bringing my message out to them. And it's also going to empower their lives, okay? But also now, how will it benefit others? Well, I can need somebody to help me. Then I can also pay that person. So that person benefits because they help me with my work, but they also benefit because it helps them financially. And then you can go on and on. And then you start to see, but goodness me, it's really going to benefit me in so much. And also you can think of an emotional side of always having to worry about money. And also about, can I pay the rent now this month or whatever. Once you actually have more than enough, interestingly, that all those worries disappear because you're starting to understand the laws of manifestation. You are starting to become a master of that. But it's not just the energy of money, but it's also that which you are projecting out into the world. Most people do not understand that energy draws in more energy. And it's the same with your words. If you always talk negatively to yourself and you, in front of other people, always put yourself down, then do not be surprised if other people start trampling on you. You see, the more we grow in consciousness, the more aware we become, the more mastery grows. Because if you cannot master yourself and you cannot discipline yourself, then how the heck are you going to do that with anybody else? All paths in life actually go right back to yourself. You know, there's a lot of people, and I've found this over and over again all my life, is they want you to tell them what to do. Now, I tell you what, a very good teacher will always guide you, will show you the way, but the teacher will not live your life for you. If they do, then get out of there. A teacher is there to actually give you the tools to go and stand on your own 2 feet and go and live your life in soul-empowered ways so that you can gain mastery, okay? Because a teacher has had to gain mastery that way. I don't say that all are masters, but in case you can only actually sow the seeds. What happened to those seeds is none of your business. And you empower people more by actually allowing them to stand on their own 2 feet. And this goes with parents and children, by letting them go so that they can learn their own way of dealing with life. And lots of people want to be fixed. Well, nobody can fix you. That's the truth. You can only fix yourself. With the help of the divine, of course, because that is all that there is. You know what is the beauty of this? Is that the more you grow at soul level and the more that you become soul empowered. I've got a book that calls Soul Empowerment. You can go and read it. It's got valuable tools for life in it. And also I've got a book on love, which is about relationships, that also gives valuable tools. But I can give those tools to you, but it's for you to apply them. And also for you to find your own way what works in your life. And the more you actually start to bring that beautiful positiveness into life, that beautiful love that you are in essence, the more you will draw the caliber of people and souls into your life who will actually be on the same wavelength as you are. And then you will find that you start talking about other things, because now the whole journey of ascension is so important that that is where your focus and attention goes. And it's very good sometimes to just get out into nature and just be by yourself, because most people can't be with themselves, because then all the shadows come up that they don't quite know to deal with, that inner talk. And then they run away from it, and then they go and drown it out with music and with drugs and with whatever. You don't need all those things. As you grow in consciousness, your awareness grows. And then you start to value yourself. You start to love yourself into the deepest shadows and the highest light, just the way you are. You cannot love another person until you've loved yourself into the deepest core. All paths in life lead back to you yourself. And if you cannot sit with yourself, then how the heck are you going to sit with anybody else? Because everybody is a mirror to you and will reflect everything back to you that you have not loved and owned within yourself. And the ascension process is exactly that. It's to finally forgive yourself and to forgive others, and to let go of all shame and blame and guilt. You know, as children, we are so often shamed and blamed, or we feel that, we want to fit into other people's norms so that we can be acceptable. But that's where the biggest lies of humanity have been told. You're not supposed to fit in. You're not supposed to be anybody else. You're not supposed to be what other people want you to be. You're supposed to be your own beautiful self. And magic happens when you're your own beautiful self. When you start to understand that you are in charge of your life and nobody else. When you stand fully in your own light and not in anybody else's shadow. And I know that a lot of people won't like what I'm saying here. That's okay. I'm giving you valuable tools for life because I have learned the hard way that all paths lead back to my own self. But the beauty of it is that everybody else is another you. And that's why self-love is so important. Unconditional love can only happen when you embrace yourself unconditionally. Yes, it means to go and dissolve all that baggage, all those old negative patterns you ever created with yourself and others. That's what ascension is essentially all about. It's not that you one day just go out and there you go and ascend, no. Because if you do and you haven't left that other stuff behind, you simply won't get there. It's as plain as that. Because you're going to start a totally new life, a new beginning. You don't want all that baggage with you. It's gone. It's left. It's over. But if you still cling on to that, you're not free. You're not free. Just like if you wait for somebody else like the government to tell you what to do. Or if you think, whoever, that's giving your power away. There is a good thing about all of this. It teaches us to be discerning. It teaches us to question. It teaches us to not take anything at face value, but to always seek the truth. And that truth is within you, your own life, for which you are taking responsibility, full responsibility. Again, it gets to the deeper shadow and the highest light. Because the shadow teaches us immense things. We grow through that shadow and in facing that shadow until we say, thank you for teaching me. As much as we embrace the light is that beautiful essence of so being filled with love and joy. To know there's so much goodness in life. There's so many miracles that are unfolding every breathing moment. And you become consciously aware that life is a very divine gift. And while we are on this planet, we might as well make the most of it. That's why we are here. But we also are here because we all knew that the new earth was going to be born, as it has, on the 5th of July 2020. And we knew the golden age would be in. As for me, I want to be the pioneer that paves the way. I've known that since time immortal, and here I am. But I can't do that if I'm not willing to do the inner work. People can actually activate keys and codes within you. They can go and do all sorts of ceremonies. But if you're not willing to change within, it's not going to help. All paths lead back to you and your own soul. Remember that. But the greatest gift you can give to another soul is give them the freedom to also find their own soul and to live their own truth. Every soul has got to take their own responsibility for their own life, their own soul, and their own well-being. And that changes everything. It is when one has faced that shadow that compassion grows. It's when one has overcome that compassion and love grows. It's the wounded healer that heals, and not the one that's never been wounded. And it's good to have compassion with yourself too. Not to beat yourself when you go downhill again, but to love yourself back into completeness by doing the inner work and getting on with life, and to affirm life instead of rejecting it, to embrace it. Yes, to embrace everything about life. And the more you embrace life, the more the abundance of life manifests into form and being. And that's how we shift. May you be very blessed in your journey in life. All of us are beautiful souls on the core. The divine did not create imperfections. Sees only the perfection. And that divine is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within. Love yourself is the first commandment. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbor? Like yourself. Go in peace. And may your day be filled with so much love and joy. You are so loved. Is it not time you love yourself?